Hi everyone, welcome to Let's Celebrate TV Live. I'm your host, Peter Lee. And of course, I never do this alone. I have a whole team here. There's the director, the producer, the cameraman, the lighting guy, the IT specialist. And guess what? That's wrapped up all in one person. He's also my husband. It's Phil Gordimer.
And good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching us from or on live replay. We might sound a little scraggly this morning. We had dinner last night with guests, and we went to bed at 2 o'clock this morning, so I've not shaven today. But, you know, if we hadn't had enough cocktails, we're having another one right now.
We are having today an orange blossom martini. I'm not going to tell you what's in it because it's an upcoming episode. Yeah, hold on here. Hold on. I'll push it forward. Hold on. Look how pretty that is.
Well, at least tell them what's in it.
Well, there's some orange juice, and we will express some orange oils into it. Do you want to come, or shall I deliver?
I'll come.
Okay.
I need some exercise.
Right? So this should wake us up. All right, cheers.
All right, back to my little hole. Ooh, that's good.
That's very good. Yeah,
Now
that's very good.
That's brandy. What brandy?
There's no brandy.
Oh, okay. We tested so many cocktails.
Well, and we've tested so many versions of this, so it's like, wait. Because we've tested this with gin, with various vodkas, different other things. So stay tuned for that.
Well, and yeah, and when you have guests last night, and we were testing cocktails for the show on them, it gets a little silly.
Yeah. I only had one cocktail last night.
I
had one glass of champagne, one cocktail, and then just a couple glasses of wine.
All right, so let's talk about what happened.
Yeah.
Let me get to us in the right screen here. Here we go.
Here we are.
So, for those who are watching 2 weeks ago, 38 minutes in, you all noticed we died. We went off the air. And we were smelling something. Peter was cooking a steak as part of that cooking with chocolate. You had just done the steak. And we had a little smoke in the room. So we figured, that was just from that. Well, it turns out our live stream encoder, which is a big metal box that takes all these cameras and sends it out the internet, smoked. Went up in flames.
I had already cooked the steak. I was demonstrating the tahini fudge. The cursed tahini fudge, which now has almost 3,000 views. But, yeah, that's why we were... And yeah, he's right. We go, well, what's that? That's a weird smell. I smelled earlier, like before it even started, and I just didn't think anything of it. We're in the basement. We cook down here all the time. Sometimes there's a random smell. I was too focused on getting ready for live stream.
And for simple live streams, for people that are just using one camera, then you don't need anything. Both YouTube and Facebook do it really well. But since we have 5 cameras here, that isn't an option.
Yeah.
So you have to have a hardware encoder that takes all the camera inputs and sends it out. So that was $800. But thank you, B&H. They sent us one overnight as a loaner while the other one's being fixed. So it's all good.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was replaced under warranty.
It is replaced under warranty, but yeah.
Anyway, do you have any other PSAs or news to share before we get started?
No, but let's see who's
Didn't you say something about 850,000 views on the channel or something?
Oh, we just got the notification for it. I don't have a banner up yet.
Million is coming fast.
All right, so let's see who we got here. We got Linda.
Linda B, yay!
And Gloria's in, and we will be refeaturing Gloria's channel later on today because she got gypped with our dead live stream. And then we have Michelle.
Yay.
And Teresa in Connecticut.
Excellent. Regulars today. That's great.
Yeah, I saw Hank in here somewhere.
I'm sure.
Michelle says it's 51.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Viola's Bacon Cooking Delights is in. We got lots of new people today.
That's awesome. Hi,
John
Viola.
Miller. Keith and Jack.
Yes, Keith and Jack. Hi.
No Hank today?
Oh, but he'll pop in. And I wonder if Dixie and Phil are on.
Well, we have 15 people watching live, so
yeah.
that's good. 14 in YouTube and 1 in Facebook, and hopefully it'll get bigger.
Okay, well, anyway,
Yep.
so on to me, Bob.
Yeah, it's on to you.
Okay. So today it's all about salmon, that wonderful versatile fish that you can eat at every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's healthy. It's pretty reasonably priced most of the time. More importantly, it's delicious. So let's talk about salmon. Let me get my little notes.
Yep,
There's
Hank was
Hank.
in.
There he is.
See, our people are looking out for him.
Yeah. So salmon, I in doing the research for this, I learned a lot of fascinating things. I was also looking for some food ideas of what to cook for you today, and I have a couple things I'm going to make for you, but it was overwhelming because you can do so much with it. So what I didn't know is a little trivia, and like my husband here loves trivia. Salmon is a common name for actually several different species of fish, and some of its close cousins are like steelhead trout, whitefish, Arctic char. Those are ones you've seen. You may have seen them in the store, and they look very much like salmon because they're part of the same family. Important food fish, they are farmed all over the world, and Norway is the biggest producer of salmon, and largest in the whole world, followed by Chile as a number 2, which, when you think about it, kind of makes sense because Chile's right on the coast there of the ocean. So, lots of varieties of salmon, and I was surprised at that too. Atlantic salmon, though, is just like there's one fish that they call Atlantic salmon. 99% of that is farm raised. Occasionally you'll see something that says Atlantic salmon wild caught, but you know, if you see that like in your local supermarket, I might take that with a grain of salt because 99% of from all over the world, Atlantic salmon is farm raised, and that's fine. Pacific salmon, however, there's several different species.
Here's the answer to your question.
Mr. Cluck Cluck does love his salmon, so he is all ears. Oh, that's great. That's great, because good. As Mackenzie, our granddaughter, calls it, it's pink chicken. So Pacific salmon, there are several varieties. Chinook, chum, coho, pink salmon, and sockeye salmon is a Pacific salmon. And those are 80% wild caught. There's some farming, but more often than not, that's going to be a wild caught fish. So Paula says, I love salmon cakes with a fried egg. That sounds good. We haven't had salmon cakes in...
A good breakfast.
When. Yeah. Yeah. So let's put this aside. Let's do a little cooking. And then we'll come back to my little notes here.
All right, well, let's do a question that was asked in Facebook a few days ago, and it's kind of important.
When buying salmon, how do you know it's fresh? Okay, salmon, or with any fish that you buy, the first thing, if you can, do the smell test, right? It should smell of the sea. Hey, Robin. They were here last night. So you smell it. It should not be fishy. It should not be super powerful. It should smell of the ocean. You know, when you're standing on the beach and there's that little briny scent in the air and it's fresh and wonderful. Secondly, it should look good. You don't want to see any colored spots or dark areas on it. And highlights again, if you can touch it, it shouldn't be oily and greasy and slimy feeling. It should feel fresh and firm. And that's true of any fish. If it's a whole fish, the other thing you can look at is the gills should be bright and vibrant of any fish, and the eyes should not be cloudy or sunken in. That means it's been hanging around. They should still be bright also.
And just a minor disclaimer, just because it's in the case doesn't mean it was actually fresh. Most salmon is already frozen before it's sent for distribution, and it's thawed out in the stores.
Yep.
So fresh can be a relative term.
And that's true of a lot of fish, you know, when they catch them out in the ocean in these deep sea fishing things. They flash freeze them right there. So they are frozen at the peak of freshness. So you probably know what I'm going to be making here. I'm doing a schmear, as we call it, here in the Philadelphia area anyway. I think New York too. Let's talk about salmon. Salmon for breakfast. What are some things you can do for salmon for breakfast? You can do what I'm doing here and have some lox and bagels or smoked salmon. Now this is smoked salmon. Lox is a little differently. It's cured differently. But this is a very common thing you find in the stores. It's delicious. It's affordable. Now, hopefully this will all come up. This is smoked salmon and potato frittata is making us drool.
So that's our episode. So we did
Okay.
5 episodes with salmon. If
Yep.
you're on YouTube, all 5 are listed in the video description.
Yep.
They'll be on Facebook once this ends. Facebook doesn't allow me to add them live, so I'll try to stick them up in here.
Now normally, when I do this, we have with it, when I make this for us, we'll have a slice of tomatoes, some red onions, maybe a few capers on it, and like we said, we had a late night, so I wasn't quite thinking all the way today.
Lance wants
I see
his
it.
lox and bagels, though.
So there we go. Yeah, and lox or smoked salmon, they're so similar. But this is a great, quick, easy, healthy, more importantly, delicious breakfast. Let's cut that open. All right. Come here, knife. I like a nice toasted bagel. Philip does not, but I do. There we go. Beautiful. How can you not like that? Unless you don't like salmon, in which case you're probably not watching anyway.
Oh, here we go. Here's a confirmation of what I was just saying.
Wild caught salmon, I heard that it is frozen at sea, then defrosted at the fish counter. It quite often is. Quite often. And that's true not only of salmon, but of most wild caught fish. They will process them, clean them up right there on the boat, flash freeze them instantly, and ship them right to the stores. We love smoked salmon for breakfast and so healthy. It is, it really is. It's a healthy fish. It's full of all kinds of good fats, antioxidants, all kinds of stuff. I didn't really look up all of the nutritional values, but it's good for you. But like anything else, in moderation. I mean, I think if you ate smoked salmon every day of your life, you'd probably get sick from it. But
Oh, we didn't know there was such a thing as silver salmon.
I didn't either. Who
Hold
says
on.
there's silver salmon?
Allison does.
Oh, if you ever get the chance to try coho salmon, it's also known as silver salmon. We'll have to look for that.
Is that silver as in the skin color or silver as in the flesh color?
Well, you're sitting at the command center. Why don't you open another window on one of those
I
28?
can't. There's a lot of chats going on that I'm
All right.
trying to manage. I have 2 extra screens today, and we have now 25 people live.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
I do have to do a little monitoring here.
All right, then, Lance or someone, Google that if what that means, the silver salmon, and let us know. Okay, so that's a quick little dish. I'm going to do some more cooking for you in a few minutes. But, you know, salmon, very plentiful. It comes from both fresh water and salt water, which I kind of knew that. But I thought that it's only some species that start in fresh water and then they spawn in salt water and they end their days like in ocean fish. But there are some species that are freshwater only, which was kind of interesting too. And I wonder what the taste difference is between the salt water and the freshwater only, if there's a big difference. So I said Atlantic salmon is 99% farmed, Pacific salmon is 80% wild caught. What's the difference between farmed and wild caught? I don't know that there is much of a difference. I will show you this that I showed you before is wild caught sockeye salmon. Very vibrant color. I know the sockeye salmon probably because of what it eats, and it's just a little different. It has a brighter color. This piece is a piece of Atlantic salmon that's farmed. So salmon is often in one of these colors, but sometimes if you had a wild caught salmon, you can see how different they are. If I had another Atlantic salmon that was wild caught, it might be a little different in color. They get their color from their food, and in the wild, they're carnivores, so they eat a lot of krill and shrimp and other things that have compounds in it that give their flesh the color. The farm raised, that's part of their feed when they feed them. Like, I don't know, Purina salmon chow, but it's part of what they're fed. So the color is a little...
Although it's heavily regulated,
Yeah.
Farm fish, they are allowed to give them a color enhancing. It's not a drug.
No, but
it's an additive added to the food meal, but it's very, at least in the U.S., it's very tightly controlled.
And it's the same compounds that they would get in the wild from eating krill and shrimp and other things like that give them that color. There's a couple different compounds in it. Cuisine de Michelle. Looks really nice. Sockeye is great. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. That's what I'm going to cook today.
All right, Kevin has the answer for the silver salmon.
Thank you, Kevin. Bright silver skin from the Pacific Ocean. Yep.
Okay, so it is
awesome,
the skin.
Kev.
Cool. Thank you.
Oh, that's good. I can't wait to film this. Yeah. Y'all are going to love this cocktail. Anyway.
All right, so Lance has also got an answer for that.
Okay. My favorite variety that comes from deep Alaskan waters of the North Pacific. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
I have an opinion question coming up.
How do you feel about canned salmon? I have mixed feelings about canned salmon. My dad wouldn't eat it. His mother would. She was not a cook. She was apparently barely a mother. And so she would give he and his brother dinner, and she would take a can of salmon and plunk it out, and here you go. And that was it. Now, this was in the 30s, but still. So he would not allow it in the house. My mother would sneak it in sometimes and make fish cakes, salmon cakes from it, but only if Dad wasn't around. You know, like if he had was working late or something, which is very rare. So I have mixed feelings. I use it. Have I ever used it, dear? Mm-hmm. Have I? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I guess we did some recipe testing last year with it.
Yeah, we also did a salmon salad, and we tried it by
with
using
salmon. Okay, so yeah, I have mixed feelings. It's not my go-to thing. I'd rather have fresh, but occasionally it's a fine product. I know a lot of people who make salmon cakes out of it frequently, so... Brian says, I made your salmon frittata by watching a video, and it was amazing. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. That was a fun video. You know, again, we've done several frittata videos, but because you can put anything in frittata. Okay. La, 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 la.
Viola says, we grew up on salmon. My dad would go ocean fishing. Mom would make salmon cakes with fresh salmon.
That's
it
excellent.
was delicious. Cool
That's
emojis.
Excellent. Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people do go, and I was reading in my reading about salmon that it's not only farmed, but there are fisheries where you can go fish for them if you're into that sport. Let's do a little more cooking. Yeah, we saw that, dear.
Oh, okay. That's why I'm behind. Oops.
Oh, you're behind. Silly bear. It's almost your time, too, isn't it? It's almost 4 o'clock.
Almost. But actually, let me do a little commercial here.
Okay.
And hold on, let me get my little sheet up here. All right, let me put that in chat first, and then we'll post it. All right, so later on, we're going to build a map of who's watching from where. So when you get a chance, in the chat, just say hello from, and give us your state, city and state where you are. And then later on, as we get more people, we'll build a map and so people can see where everyone's coming from.
All right. So I'm going to do a little pan-roasted salmon today. I'm going to cook a little dinner for us, so to speak. I had originally all these great plans. I was going to do salmon tacos for lunch and salmon in pastry with all this stuff as a dinner, and yeah, that's not happening today. But I will make us nice pan-roasted salmon. So a lot of times when you buy salmon at the store, it comes like this, and it may still have the skin on it. And look how pretty that is. This skin is perfectly edible, and you know they take the scales off and everything. What I had to do with this one, because it's wild caught, I guess.
Pin bones?
Yes, right here there's a line of pin bones, and you can just go through and feel with your finger. You can use a pair of tweezers or needle nose pliers to pull them out. So I'm just going to do a little pan roast on this with some asparagus, and we have a sauce for it I'll tell you about. I made with canned salmon, little patties, and balls to dip. Grandson loved them. Oh, that sounds good. So give this a little salt.
Michelle says she likes doing bourbon salmon,
Ooh.
which is interesting. I like that.
Yeah, I that sounds familiar to me. Maybe we've seen it in restaurants. Little pepper. And I'm going to put this in starting skin side down because I want the skin to crisp up. There we go. Hopefully that won't splatter too much. I just have a little bit of oil in the pan to help it go. Non-stick pan, just in case. I really need to get one of the splatter guards for down here.
All right, we have 25 people. We have 6 on, we have 7 on Facebook and 17 in YouTube. So,
Okay.
yay, people are watching.
Yay. Awesome. While that cooks, I have some asparagus here, some early asparagus that I got. It's from Mexico. It looks decent. It's not Jersey asparagus yet, but we're going to also, once this gets going a little bit, we're going to throw some of these in the same pan and cook them up. Salmon and asparagus go really, really well together.
Lance is asking, do you prefer with or without skin for cooking?
I don't have a preference, though it depends on what I'm making. If I'm doing it like in a packet, I prefer the skinless. You know, like we did an episode where we did it in parchment paper. That type of thing, I prefer it skinless because it's going to be, the skin will be flabby. If I'm doing it like this, where the skin will get crisp, I prefer the skin on. We have a fish spatula. Yes.
In fact, here's a link to our episode of salmon and vegetable parchment packets. It's done a few years ago. It's a little older format, but it's still relative.
Yeah, that's all. Still good.
Michelle says for her, it depends on what the dish is.
Yeah.
She's good either way.
Yep, me too. Me too. Let me step over here for a moment. Get a lemon. I'm going to want a lemon in this. Now, when do you buy salmon? How do you buy salmon? Someone asked, how do I tell if it's fresh? And we showed you how to tell if it's fresh, but you can get it frozen, and it's perfectly delicious. I often get it like this, and they're already portioned out. And I'll show you. We buy tuna like this too, and it's delicious.
And it's sushi grade tuna, so
well, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Because I did a little research on that too. But you see, they're vacuum packed, all portioned, frozen solid, and they're very easy to thaw and use. So there's 4 to a packet, and I think this was maybe, I don't know, $10, $13. So, you know, a dinner.
All right, so we got 3 in a row here who agree about the crispy skin. We got skin from Linda and Viola, and Teresa says her dog loves the
skin. Well, and you know, sometimes even if you take the skin off, you can fry it up and make like a crackling, like a pork rind, but with salmon skin. That's delicious. So you, Phil, mentioned it's sushi grade. I did some research on that because I figured someone will ask. Here's the thing, guys. Sushi grade, sashimi grade is an unregulated term, meaning the producers of this can put this all over, so you will buy and you'll think, oh, I trust my fishmonger at our local store. So if they have something that says sashimi grade, I believe them a little more than, you know, if I were in a certain other big box store and it said sushi grade salmon. You just have to, you know, kind of go with your gut. Let's flip this over. Ooh, lovely. What was all that noise?
pump went on for some reason.
Lovely. So be careful when you see sushi grade or sashimi grade. It doesn't always necessarily mean it is. It's probably perfectly wonderful and safe, but, you know, if you're going to eat it raw, that is. All right, do you want to do your bit? Because I want to go pop this back.
While you're cooking?
Yep.
Give me a second here to get the right screens up.
Gonna do a dance while you're...
All right, so let me get the right super source here. Here we go, laptop and me. All right. Yeah, okay, here we go. So again, as most of you know, we do our best to try to feature other upcoming small cooking channels. YouTube is a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And it takes a number of years to get some traction. 3 years is the average. So I like to feature small channels whenever they get a chance. And this is Gloria, Gloria's Kindred Kitchen. We had featured her 2 weeks ago before our live stream died with an encoder fire. She has 1,100 subscribers and 230 videos. And if we look to see, you can see that she started this in about March of 2020 and talks all about home cooking, and that her husband encouraged her to write down recipes for many, many years. And as many of us have done, you make a video about it, and then you start to like it, and you get better and better and better. And if we go look at her videos, she's got like quite a bit of stuff. Matter of fact, she had prime rib steak sliders that she had just done yesterday. So I haven't caught up on that yet. But help them out. Go see Gloria. Give me a second here. The link to her channel is in the video description on YouTube. It'll be on Facebook in a little while. Where's my screens here? All right, I'll put it in there in a second. But not only go and visit, watch a video and leave a comment. One thing that small channels can do that big channels can't is they can answer every question, even if it's just say, thanks for watching, and YouTube loves that. Now, if you hit the subscribe button, the like button, that's even better. But comment. Tell that new channel what you want to see. And it's all good.
Yep. Back to me?
You. Yep.
Yay! Let's zoom in on the fish. I flipped it. I'm going to flip it back, I think.
Oops, wrong one. Okay, there you go.
But I've got a little bit of crispiness on the skin. It needs a little bit more. But I wanted to get the fish itself cooking. And I threw the asparagus in, so it'll start to grill up a little bit. This is just one of the easiest ways to cook salmon. It's going to keep sliding on me.
And Michelle said she just subbed and she's going to watch and comment later.
Okay.
And I have posted the channel information for Gloria's channel. As an aside, if you know another small cooking channel you'd like us to take a look at, please send it to me. You can send it to info@Let'sCelebrateTV. Oops, let me get rid of that. Hold on. info@Let'sCelebrateTV. You can leave a private message for us on Facebook. You can leave it as a comment. We're looking for small channels, so this would be 5,000 subscribers or less, and beginning. We want to help beginners. Channels that have 10 and 20 and 30,000 views and 400 don't need help. It happens all by itself.
Yep.
So let us know.
All right, we're just going to let this keep going.
Yes, yes, yes. This is very important.
Oh, I got no I want to leave a comment with no acknowledgement. That's true, and we try. We don't see them right away always, but we try to answer them as soon as we do. Sometimes people are in different time zones, and
yeah, and I'm a part of a number of YouTube small channel groups. As a matter of fact, we have Zoom meetings every couple of weeks, and that's the biggest thing I can tell new YouTubers that are starting the channel. If you want it to grow, you have to answer every single question, even if it's just thanks for watching, see you next time. it makes a huge difference.
Yep. Then again, sometimes when we get comments, Phil will say, I got it, I'll answer it, don't even look at it. But we try and answer them right away.
You going to talk some more about salmon and the different types?
Hold on, I'm checking the temperature.
What should the temperature be?
I don't know. I don't remember. 140? Look it up. It was in the one video.
It's 140.
Yeah. So we're getting there.
Well, this is interesting.
My mom used to make coconut curry salmon. Oh, that sounds kind of good. Maybe we should look up recipes for that. So I just gave this little squeeze of lemon. Again, salmon loves lemon. What are some other things you could do with this? You could put in little slivers of garlic. You could have done this in butter instead of olive oil. Various herbs, etc. Where are you watching from? Did we do the map? And I
Not yet. We're going to do the map later. I want everyone to jump in.
I thought maybe I couldn't see it.
Nope.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we don't eat as much salmon as I would like because it's my go-to fish. And then Phil gets tired of it and he'll say, anything but salmon. Michelle says, that does sound good, coconut curry salmon. Yeah. Yeah, I think we need to, maybe some of us could...
See, I don't find this to be true. At least the ones that we buy have no added sodium.
Yeah. Well, maybe they do, and we just never... I'll have to look at the label. That's a good thought, Teresa.
Well, you have it right behind you.
No, I don't. I put it back in the freezer.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, read the labels.
Ooh, I like this one. I think I want to try this.
Have you ever tried salmon chowder? Yeah. We had salmon chowder somewhere, and I have a recipe in one of my books for it. I want to do more soups.
And thank you, Hank. It's true.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Hank.
We typically, unless it's 3 in the morning, we typically respond.
Yeah. Within a couple hours at most.
Yep. Unless it's something I just don't know.
Yeah.
All right, here's an opinion question coming.
A what?
An opinion question.
Okay. Which is better, the wild caught or the farm raised? Yeah. I'm okay with either one, honestly.
Can I jump in there?
Yeah, sure.
So, in my opinion, if depending on how it's cooked, you will never know, because what you do with the fish is better than the source. The color may be different, as wild tends to be, and that's usually only sockeye. So if you're not doing sockeye, it's hard to tell the difference. It's really all about the preparation.
No one saw that, right?
So what? We didn't see anything.
Asparagus on the floor. That's the skin down. Let's give this one more quick flip. There we go. Now that's crispy on there. Now I know I'm using a metal spatula in a nonstick pan. I'm being very careful with it. I'm not digging in.
Your spatulas are good.
I do have a couple little rubber spatulas, but they aren't quite sturdy enough for that.
All right, this next one that's coming up is not for you or me. This is for all of our people in chat.
All right.
And they're saying, can you serve salmon with pasta? I know we have lots of...
Absolutely.
We have lots of people in this group that do pasta, so I want to see what they say. Len says it's very Julia Child of you dropping the food on the floor.
Well, if it were Julia Child, I would have then picked it up and just said, oh, well. All right. I'm going to pull this out, let it rest for a couple minutes, and then we will dig in. Come on now. Here we go. Plus it's getting loud and smoky in here. While I let this rest, let me first pick up this before I step on it and trip. There.
All right, get your notes out.
No, I don't need my notes.
Okay. Oh, Okay, so we have an answer here about
About what?
what can's good for.
Okay. I make salmon patties, eaten just like a burger, out of canned salmon, and it's quite tasty. Yeah, like the salmon case we talked about earlier. Speaking of earlier.
And then someone says fish for breakfast.
Ew.
Aiden.
There's lots of places that have fish for breakfast in the UK. They have kippers, right? And they have smoked haddock, Ben and Hattie.
Well, and our favorite diner has a white fish platter for breakfast.
All the diners have white fish, but one of our favorite diners also has a crab cake hollandaise. So I made this little sauce earlier, and I chose some classic flavors. Now this is based in sour cream, which is kind of like creme fraiche if you don't know what sour cream is. And not everyone does. Some parts of the world. This is dill, lemon, sour cream, a little bit of salt and pepper, because dill, thank you, Teresa, dill and lemon go beautifully with salmon. You will often find in the Scandinavian countries, and they eat a lot of salmon, that it's salmon and dill. And dill goes well with a lot of fish, right? I mean, you get pickled herring that has dill in it, that's good. So we are just going to spoon it over the top. You could be fancy, but it's live TV. You could be fancy and do a schmear.
While you're doing that, and again, just a reminder, let's find out where you're from. So if you haven't already in chat, say hello from, and tell us the city and state you're from, and we'll build a map and show where everybody is looking at us from.
And just thin it out a little more with a little more lemon. You could thin it out with milk or cream too.
Lots of buttons today.
Well, I know. I warned you about that.
And chat's very busy, so
Good.
I'm looking at 4 monitors
good,
here.
good.
My head hurts.
So, how easy is this? We'll just plump some on there.
Schmear?
Yeah, this isn't my best. Well, no, but it's a little thicker than I should have thinned it a little bit more. But nice little sauce. Now, I'm going to have to make a great sacrifice. And
You don't need a sacrifice.
Wow.
I just need a fork.
wow, look at that. Left his station, pushes me out of my own kitchen. See what I have to live with? Okay, it's hot.
Really?
Don't burn your dentures.
Burn the dentures. That's good.
Is it good? May I try some?
It's still moist in the middle.
May I try some, your lordship? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Wow.
That is good.
Yeah, so you see, it's very easy to cook. Yeah, that's kind of nice. I would like some more crack on it. But yes, that's very, very good. Let me put this out of the way so I don't stand here.
There's no problem,
eat it.
Linda. The more chat that goes on,
Yes.
the more we can drive the channel.
We love chats, we love live comments and live questions. In the early days, we had a couple of these. Oh, Bearded Barista. I'm of the opinion that salmon and most fish are too delicate of a protein to serve in or within a pasta dish. I'm sure it would be tasty, though. Okay, sure. Yeah, I would disagree with that because depends on the pasta you use and if you make a sauce with it. So like if I were to use salmon, I might do it with angel hair. I would flake it maybe. I might poach it in maybe some white wine and herbs and poach it that way and flake it in with the pasta. You could cube it. You could do like I did and then cube it up and put it in. I wouldn't do it with a tomato sauce. I'm sure that people do, but I might like it maybe with a white wine sauce or a garlicky sauce like olive oil and butter and garlic, that type of thing. So your flavors and pastas are light like the fish. Salmon, though, remember, is a heavier, heartier fish. So it's a little meatier than, say, flounder or tilapia. And that's one of the reasons it's so popular, I think. All right, what's next here?
Oh, let's show the map. Looks like I got enough to build a map here. All right, so we'll show our map. And we'll start from the top. And again, if you haven't had it in chat, tell us where you're watching. Say hello from and give us your city and state. So we got Lance and Ken from
Farmingdale,
New York. We got Joe and Peggy from
Exton.
And
Yeah.
they may be doing as well as we are because they were here till 2 in the morning.
They just left here a couple hours ago.
Yep. We have Linda from Central Connecticut. We have Gloria from Henderson, North Carolina. Oh, let's see. Oh, we already had Farmingdale, New York. We have Viola from Central California.
Awesome.
We have R.A. from Calgary, Alberta. Yay,
Yay.
way up there. Thank you. We got Teresa from Bear, Vermont. Okay, Matt couldn't figure that one out. And we got our hosts from Sewell, New Jersey. We're missing
Hank.
our people from Texas today. Oh, wait a minute. I got another one here. We got California, Turlock.
Hello.
So it's not bad.
And we have Hank in...
Oh, that's right. We have Hank didn't put it,
Arizona.
but Hank is over here in Nevada.
We have Phil and Dixie in New York State.
Yep. So cool.
In the southern tier.
And
Awesome.
didn't we have someone from India 2 weeks ago when I built the map before we lost it?
South Africa.
South Africa. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a
That
minute. We
was
got
awesome.
Robin from Hatfield.
Hatboro, yeah.
Yeah. And then Michelle says she's in Missouri.
Oh, that's right. And she mentioned that earlier. Yay. So that's pretty good.
We're good. So we got a good mix. Mm-hmm. All right. Let me get rid of my map. Back to you.
Thanks. Back to me, Bob.
Oh, we had Teresa in Central Connecticut.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So, yeah, I started to say before I was interrupted. So, yes, thank you for all the comments and things. Carol says, I recently had grilled salmon kebabs at a restaurant. See, that's a great idea. That's something I want to do. And I wonder what was on those kebabs. Was it meat, the fish, and vegetables? Was it all fish? How you seasoned them? So, yeah, I think I want to start exploring that because I love kebabs. And a salmon kebab is kind of exciting. Can you fry salmon? Well, we just did. This was kind of fried or pan roasted.
Unless she means deep fried.
Unless you mean like deep fried. I don't know. I think people probably do. I don't know because it's such a heavy oily fish as it is. But you probably could. I don't care for, like when people bread and deep fry things like lobster and things. Shrimp are fine, but I don't know that I would if you could. What makes salmon a healthy fish? It's full of all kinds of... Didn't you look this up?
You have it in your notes.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't. Let's see. You had something in your notes.
Hold on. I will read it to you.
Okay, there you go.
You keep talking. Give me a second. I have to switch
Okay.
screens here.
He needs to switch screens.
Oh, shut up.
You heard him.
Exactly.
Well, you had all these notes in OneNotes, and I didn't know if that was for me or for you or, why you even did them. I do know that salmon is full of all kinds of good fats and good enzymes, antioxidants, proteins. Nothing, huh, dear?
I have the color-added salmon. FDA farm-raised does not contain hormones, blah, 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 blah. Buying salmon tips. Nope.
Oh, I thought you had
I
this
don't have it.
whole thing that it had, like, vitamins, blah, 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 blah. It is chock full of nutrients. Oh, Steven says, I saw your live stream where your son was the grill master. Can he show us how to grill salmon? All right, Kevin. And we didn't put Kevin and Emily on the map either. In Winona,
Well, they
New
didn't
Jersey.
say it,
Oh, okay.
and I can't type it that quick. So
Kevin, if you're still on and paying attention, you've been...
you've been called out.
Well, the fans want to see you, Kevin. So we'll have to set that up in the warmer weather. I know Kevin would be outside grilling right now if he could. I know you do. Yeah. So then, yes, Kevin can show us how to grill salmon.
There we go. Linda has the answer.
That's what I was trying to say, the fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids. Yes. Thank you, Linda. But I thought you had a whole paragraph. I saw.
I do. I have so many notes here and so many windows open. I'm confused. I'm just glad I'm pushing the right buttons today.
Hank says, I could see a ginger cider sauce with flaked salmon, with a bucatini pasta to help catch the sauce. That sounds good. Yeah, you can have pasta with non-tomato sauce and non-garlicky sauce. So, yeah, that's a great idea, Hank. And ginger and cider, that would be great with it. Ginger and salmon are another combination that goes well. Thank you, Lance. Salmon provides 75 to 85% of the daily value of selenium, a mineral that may support bone health, improve thyroid function, and protect against certain types of cancer. So there you go. Omega-3 fatty acids, selenium. I mean, what more do you
Okay,
need?
these are coming in faster than I
know.
can type them. Here's a good one. This is an email.
Can you use a
one.
dry rub or a marinade with salmon? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes you'll see in restaurants blackened salmon where they put a dry rub on it. You can absolutely marinate it. The first time I ever had salmon, a friend of mine made it and marinated it in a simple olive oil with some salt and pepper and had cloves of garlic in it. So like slivered garlic, slid it into the fish, and then marinated it in olive oil, and it was amazing. What are you looking at?
Nothing. I thought there was something else back there that we were going to cook.
Well, I was gonna do fish tacos.
Okay.
Well, we only have like 7 minutes left here.
That's okay. You can start.
I don't know that I have time to cook this big piece of salmon. in
Flake up what
6
you just cooked.
Okay, he wants fish tacos. Okay, we'll make fish tacos. Why not? Okay. Here we go. Live TV. I grill salmon with an oriental marinade. It is so good. Yeah, and that's one of those things, you can take salmon, so many things. I say this all the time. You can take this in so many directions. You can go Asian, you can go Italian.
As a matter of fact, here's one of our most popular episodes. This thing exploded when we did it.
Yep.
Now, this is in our very old format, but it was really, really popular.
Dear, that's not very old format. We just did that at the end of last year because I watched it earlier today. All right, let's make some tacos. Because I learned from one of my new favorite chefs, Patty Kindred, who is a Mexican chef from Mexico, you can make anything into a taco. So let's turn this back on. And this would make a great lunch. I said salmon for breakfast, salmon for lunch, salmon for dinner. So I'm heating up a pan, just a plain dry stainless steel. It doesn't have to be nonstick. And I have some little corn tortillas here. We're just going to heat up 1 or 2 maybe. I should have brought down my cast iron kamal, or griddle as we call it, and she calls it a kamal. But we'll use this instead. Let me get you a plate, dear, because I know you're going to want one.
And for those that would like a healthy salad, last year we did a steamed salmon niçoise salad.
Yep.
So you can get all sorts of good stuff with that.
And I'm heating this up just to help make it pliable. Don't stick. You're not supposed to stick.
Ooh, look at this. We just got a little note today from...
From whom?
Oh, interesting. It doesn't show to the public. It's telling me, congratulations, you've received 200 messages with today's Restream chat.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's telling me in the control panel. It's not showing it.
So I'm just going to heat that up and make it pliable.
Yeah, it won't let me show it. Oh, well.
A little bit of salmon on.
Oops, hold on. There you go.
Yep. Now these are corn tortillas, white ones that I found. You could use flour if you prefer. I made a little slaw earlier with a little mustardy vinaigrette on it.
Yum, that looks good.
Yeah. So we'll put a little of that on. Would you like me to deliver you a fish taco, dear? Or can I just try it myself? I'm going to try it myself first.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take the scraps.
Okay. That's quite good. I'll make you one, dear. I like these little corn tortillas. Little soft ones.
All right.
So I saw what Lance said. Thank you, Lance. Yeah, that's a great recipe. And I know he makes it a lot.
So here we go. since we've been wining it and have so much wine lately.
I'm serving a roasted side of salmon for dinner next week. What kind of wine should I serve with it? Okay, that's a great question. Here's the thing about salmon. Now, when you think about fish, you think you have to have white wine. And there's a reason for that. That's because the tannins in red wines tend to make some fish taste fishy when they don't. It brings out those enzymes and things. Salmon, however, is kind of the exception to the rule. Red wine goes very well with salmon. The Italians, I have a recipe as an ancient Italian recipe where they poach salmon in red wine with oranges and nutmeg of all things. And it is absolutely delicious. And we may do that as an episode. I was inspired by the two fat ladies who did a version of it many years ago. Here we go, dear. I'll bring you your own little fish taco.
I'll take extra slaw, please.
Okay.
I'll just make a mess.
That's fine. This should be nice and soft. We don't want too much extra slaw.
Put a piece of asparagus in there too, please.
Okay. I can do that. Let's cut it down a bit.
We'll all have stinky pea tomorrow.
A piece there. Here I come. Here I come. Here I am on this camera.
Yay! All right.
Here I am. Back to me. So yeah, quick little lunch.
We have a very important question.
Oh, how are the kitties doing? The kitties are doing fine.
Well,
They are great.
Salem is still being traumatized.
Well, 'cause we had
traumatized
company,
We had
'cause-
company yesterday. He's a big chicken.
Yeah. But they're absolutely fine. Everyone's healthy. Knock on wood. It is time that we have to start getting them in for their checkups and trim their nails. They need mani-pedis, but yeah, we're good. Kitties are good. What else you got? Kathy wants to know, when is my next dinner party and what are you serving? So we had a dinner party last night, and we're exhausted.
Tell them what it was.
We had a pork roast.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. We had a roast pork, and it was very delicious. I am working on one for the spring, sometime next month, probably after St. Patty's Day, which is right around my birthday. And usually that's a present to myself as I have a dinner party. I don't know. There was, and I left those notes upstairs. Maxwell is no kitty. That's right. Maxwell is a kitten. He's just a little baby, fluffy piece of love. He's like 28 pounds. He's a big boy. You've seen him. Yeah, so what am I serving? I don't know. We had a pork roast last night. I might do lamb. Spring lamb would be nice. Maybe a rack of lamb. Or maybe I'll do a pasta. I grill salmon after I have marinated in soy sauce, ginger root, sesame oil, and rice vinegar for about an hour. That's excellent. And classic Asian flavors, which really salmon loves those flavors. I would like to do a citrusy marinade, which I might have to try and develop. Or Kevin, if you've done that, you can come on the show and demonstrate it. Because salmon loves citrus too. Loves lemon and limes, oranges. All right, we are at about time, dear. I'm looking at the big clock on the wall.
Yep, so why don't you talk about what we're working on?
Okay, what are we working on next? Now, let me get my little set.
Viola says, love salmon cooked with white wine.
And of course, a glass as well. And I'm sure you know, you cook with wine that you would drink. If you're not going to drink it, don't cook with it.
Hank votes for rack of lamb. We eat lots of lamb,
we do.
so it's probably going to win.
We do, yeah. You know, I'll post something on Facebook after we're done here, and because I started the menu and I had a couple things. There was an appetizer that we were working on, and I have that written down. But what are we working on?
Hold, please.
Okay.
Totally self-serving. Please take a minute and jump down on YouTube or on Facebook and like it so everyone knows that you had fun watching this. And we will also on Facebook, if you're not in our Facebook group, I highly recommend you join it because we put lots of posts out about stuff we're testing and things we're playing with and the mess we make trying to create a cocktail. And a lot of our questions for these shows come from Facebook.
Yeah.
We also do a lot of polls. YouTube does not lend itself well to that. So if you've not joined our Facebook group, please do. And you can also get it from Let's Celebrate TV's website. Okay, now it's back to you.
Thank you. Thank you. So what do we have coming up on Lctv? The cocktail we had today, the Orange Blossom Cocktail. That's going to be probably our next episode. I have an appetizer that is a crispy, spicy fried chickpeas. And we made it a couple times and just gorged ourselves. They're so good, but they're super easy. But it's not quite what you might expect. If you're thinking, throw a can of chickpeas in hot oil and have it sputter, that's not how it works. For this recipe, we're going to be doing some more salmon. I want to do a salmon and croûte, salmon and pastry, kind of like a beef Wellington but with salmon, that uses a similar dill sauce to this and some spinach, salmon, of course, puff pastry. It's delicious. It might be a little advanced, but I'm trying to give people more advanced recipes than just basic things. I have a clam chowder recipe that we've been working on, a Rhode Island clam chowder. So if you don't know what that is, it's delicious. It's not, it's clear. It's more clam forward than, say, Manhattan or New England clam chowder. And I'm hoping this coming season, this coming year, that we're going to be doing more soups and pastas and more seafood. I know we've kind of stayed away from pastas because of some of the haters on, that's not how Nona does it, but I'm kind of over that.
And we've kind of stayed away from soups because they generally don't do well.
And yet people ask for them. So, and we eat a lot of soup. So I'm going to do some more soups. And if they do well, great. If they don't, well, it is what it is. Sometimes, you creators out there, you YouTubers, you got to do an episode for yourself, whether it does well or not. What is our next live stream in 2 weeks? We never talked about that, dear.
Nope. So there's an idea. Jump into our Facebook group or send us an email of what you'd like us to do. If not, we'll decide something on Monday or Tuesday.
I am leaning towards Kevin's suggestion of all about nachos and all the different ways and things you could do with nachos. What do you think, Kevin? That's where I'm leaning. We did a nacho recipe episode a few years ago, and it did okay. But, since then, we've expanded our nacho experience, I guess. And Kevin had recently a ahi tuna nachos.
Oh, I missed this one before.
What did you miss?
Gloria said you make salmon with oriental...
you had that up.
What?
Yes, you did.
I did? Okay.
Because I read it. And then Hank followed up with how he marinates it.
All right, my software that tells me I showed it did not say that. Okay.
Well, you did, because I read it.
But then you made me a taco.
Yes, I did.
You made Viola happy.
Okay. Did I make my husband happy? I hope so.
I ate it.
Good. So now you don't need dinner.
So now we can just go on the couch and sleep?
Yeah. And I will say we are not having salmon for dinner. I don't know what we're having yet, but we're not going to have salmon.
Well, we still happen to have a dozen oysters that haven't been opened from last night. So.
That's true. We had oysters on the half shell last night. They were amazing oysters, and we had caviar with them. There might be a little caviar left. And,
so,
Yeah.
I think some live oysters.
Live oysters.
Raw oysters, yeah, with a VO Manhattan. Mm-hmm. Or we have that wonderful rye that Robin just gave us yesterday.
Someone might have brought us a whole new bottle of Redemption rye. Yeah. We'll eat well tonight.
And you're welcome, Gloria. Hopefully some people will find your way to your channel. And again, if you know other small channels, let me know. I try my best to watch everyone's videos all the way to the end I try to comment every time, but right now I am subscribed to 275 small
Yeah.
channels. So some
weeks are better than others.
Some weeks are better than others. But I never try to go more than 2 weeks without at least getting back to somebody.
Yeah. So, all right. So I guess we can wrap this up, dear.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
we'll hang out and chat for a few minutes. Thank you all for joining us. And we will see you next time. Bye.